So when I'm handling a horse, grooming, until I know that they can be super solid, just standing there and relaxing. Oh, I know, I'm sorry. That's your bad spot. Um, with everything I'm doing, I don't tie them. I ask them to stand ground tied. That way I can interact with them and correct them, asking them to stay back on their place. So Annie doesn't really like her head being touched, or her ears. That is one of her things. So used to be I couldn't even touch between her eyes. Now she's letting me do that, but when I go higher, she's not a fan. So I don't hyperfixate on trying to touch those areas that she doesn't let me right now. Instead of working on that, we've been working on some other things. If she lets me rub her real gentle, then that's great. But she doesn't really like my hand coming up this way. So if I'm going to pet her up here, I try to go from the back side and make it nice and relaxing. And then right now she's okay with me kind of touching here, but she doesn't want me to go much higher. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's not something that absolutely needs to be dealt with right now. And a lot of times those things start to go away as they begin to trust you more. Right. So this is already a lot better than how she was for me when she came. And she's going to be more trusting of different people. So her mama was able to do this more when she came than I was able to. And now she's letting me do this more, right? All right. So with the grooming, I can drop my long rope and ask her to stand there. Well, if she goes to follow me, I'm just going to say, nope, stay there. Good girl. Nope, stand there. And normally we do this at the round pen panel instead of right in the middle. Come in. So we're going to a different spot than she's used to. Good girl. But this is good because it's giving her something new to learn. So I'm going to come over here, grab my curry. All of my brushes are super soft because most horses do not like stiff brushes. And I'm just going to give her a little curry. And when I do this, I pay attention to how the horses are responding. Are they flinching any? Are they pulling their head up in tension? Are they tensing their skin? A lot of horses have very sensitive skin, which is why I don't like using stiff brushes, super stiff brushes, metal curries, things like that. Annie loves getting mud literally everywhere she possibly can. And because she's really sensitive around her head, I'm just going to go nice and easy and try not to create any more problems. Good girl. So as I go, I'm just going to keep a hold of the end of my rope, but I'm going to try and let it stay draped on the ground so that she knows that I'm asking her to stand there and I'm not pulling her around anywhere as I'm moving her around to groom. Good girl. And as a horse or mule becomes calmer with the grooming and tacking process, then I will start looping the rope or around the panel or tie them with something that's like a not a hard tie in case they get nervous while I'm tacking them up. But I just want every single time I handle them to be nice and relaxed. I'm not going to hard tie a horse while I'm doing anything with them until I know that they can be doing everything I'm asking them calmly and quietly without fidgeting and moving around. And I think you got more mud on this side, girly. So I just take note of everything that she's doing. If she's moving away from me more on one side than the other, if she starts drawing away, I'll just pause. She wasn't there, but I'll just pause and give her a second until she re-engages. Oh, there you go. And the most important part is just to slow down and go at their pace where you can pay attention to what they are doing. Yeah, good girl. See, with the grooming, she doesn't mind me touching up here now. Good girl. And then I'll just keep going, and again, try to keep the rope in the same spot, coming off her chin, so it's on the ground. And that's going to be her ground tie. If I have a horse that's moving around a lot more and more fidgety, you have to be careful that they're not stepping on the rope. But you still want them to just stand here nicely like this. You got it everywhere. Good girl, Annie. And some horses, I'll put both of my hands on them if they're more sensitive. If they're more relaxed like Annie, you don't really need to use two hands on their body. But if they're more sensitive and reactive, then I'll put one hand here and then just kind of alternate what I'm doing so that they aren't getting surprised every time I lift up and set back down. Good girl. So then I'm going to use the brush. And I always try to go front to back, top to bottom. One, it helps clean them faster. Two, they get into a routine of what to expect. And that makes it easier. Oh, you got an itch? Good girl. And while I'm doing this, I'm just taking note of what she is doing while I'm grooming her, if she's getting tense, if she's staying nice and relaxed, if she's paying attention to the other horses. I don't mind her looking around as long as she doesn't get distracted and try to walk off. Or if she's hyperfixating, even if she's not moving her feet, if she's staying fixated on something, I'll just ask her to bring her awareness back to me. And my goal is really for them to stay just nice and quiet like this, aware of what I am doing, aware of what is going on around them, but not fixating on other things. I'm just enjoying this process. Good girl. All right. And then with the hoof pick, I won't pull their foot off the ground. I don't get into a pushing and pulling more. I just wait for them to give me their foot. And Annie is doing really well with this now. When you get into fighting with them and trying to push them over and take their foot off the ground, it makes them more tense and brace more. So, good girl. So I'll just move here, run my hand down. I might give a little squeeze if she doesn't pick up, but I don't get into a pulling and pushing match. Just be patient and wait for them to relax and give it to me. Good girl. And if I am being able to do this without her moving around like she is for me, this is where I then, oh, come back up here. There you go. Good girl. Nope. Thank you. When they can do this easily, then I'll start working with having them do it while tied. Good girl. Good. Good girl. That was very nice. Thank you.